Okay, this is a nice little story about a married couple who goes on a vacation to one of those all-inclusive resorts, kind of like a Club Med in the tropics, and it's a clothing optional adult vacation spot. So anyway, we find the couple sunbathing and laying out there, and the wife's sort of laid out on a lounge chair, and suddenly she realized that a bee flew right inside her vagina. And she said, "Oh my God, honey, a bee just flew inside me. It's in my vagina." And the husband goes, "Oh my God, don't panic, honey. We'll bring you to the doctor." So he scoops her up and carries her into the medical facility. You know, it's one of those all-inclusive places, and they have facilities there. So anyway, the doctor's waiting, and the staff, and they've been alerted to this situation. And the doctor says, "Well, you did the right thing." And he said, we had this experience before, you know, being in the tropics. We do have bees, and bees, they seek out, you know, nectar and crevices and places like that. So anyway, listen here, I've developed, perfected a technique to extract the bee without startling it. He goes, the last thing we want to happen is for that bee to sting her, and if it does, then the swelling and the complications, and well, you just don't want to go there. So anyway, he said, my procedure is, how I do it is, rather than introduce a cold metal object and try to, you know, grab the bee like that, I propose with my procedure is we will lure the bee out with honey. And how I do that is I apply honey to my penis. It's, you know, body temperature, and it won't startle the bee. And anyway, that's had great success that way. And the husband says, "Oh, wait a second here. Now, come on." And the doctor says, "Look, here, I'm a medical doctor. This is a medical facility. You can see all the stainless steel and the tile, and it's your call." He said, "Of course, but time is of the essence here, and she's in great danger now, so I'll let you decide." But there you have it. So the husband says, yeah, you're right. He said, "Okay, you know, go ahead with the procedure, but, you know, be careful. That's my wife we're talking about here." So doctor says, "Okay, well, let's not waste any time and get started with the procedure." So he puts the lady on the table and puts her legs up in the stirrups, and asks the attending nurse there for the jar of honey, and he scoops out a generous dollop and starts applying it to his member, and goops it all around there, and it's dripping off and everything. And he says, "Now we'll begin the procedure." So he kind of puts one leg up on the table and slowly inserts his penis, honey-coated at that, puts it in there part way, and he says, no reaction yet. He's a little deeper than I thought. So he kind of scooches up a little further and gets in a little bit deeper and slides in there, and the woman, she's kind of loosens her grip on the handles. It's not an altogether unpleasant experience, I suppose, for her. But anyway, he's in there, you know, at least halfway deep, and he's getting no reaction from the bee, but he can hear him buzzing in there, and he says, "Boy, he's a stubborn one, but let's see if I can get up there a little further." He's got both legs up there now, and he's pretty much on top of the lady, and he starts going in and out, and pretty soon she's got her arms around the guy, and her legs are kind of intertwined behind the guy's neck, and they're pretty much hammering away at this point. And the husband's sort of dancing around looking, and he says, "What the hell's going on here? I mean, you know, what's going on with the bee?" And the doctor looks up, and he's pretty much breaking a sweat at this point, and he goes, "This is a stubborn one." He said, "Looks like I'm going to have to go to Plan B here, and looks like we're going to have to drown this one." So if you ever go to a Club Med, this could happen to you. Just